Of Silvent's advantages, it is always best to demonstrate our products. For this demonstration, we use a demo bench. When discussing blowing nozzles, there are three basic terms that are always mentioned. They are blowing force, air consumption, and noise level. We are now going to define these three terms. Let's start with the noise level. The unit for measuring noise level is decibels A. We use an A filter which has the same sensitivity as the human ear. To measure noise, we use a noise level meter. The second thing we measure is the blowing force. The unit of measurement for blowing force is newtons or foot-pounds. However, for practical demonstration purposes, we use a scale calibrated in grams. The third and last thing we measure is the air consumption. The unit for air consumption is normal cubic meters per hour or standard cubic feet per minute. The air consumption is measured by a flow meter. Demonstration. When we demonstrate, we always start the demonstration with noise level measurement. We use several of Silvent's blowing guns equipped with a nozzle, and a number of our competitors' products which are in practice comparable to an open pipe. Almost all blowing guns on the market are based on the open pipe concept. Let's start with our competitors. We'll give you a couple of examples. So if we start with competitor number 1, we find that the noise level on this one is 90 to 91 decibels A. The second blowing gun has a noise level of 94 decibels A. And the third one has a noise level of 89. Now Silvent's. The meter shows a noise level of only 79 to 80 decibels A. The difference between the Silvent nozzle and our competitors is 10 decibels A or even more. As you remember, 8 to 10 decibels is interpreted by the ear as a 50% reduction of the noise level. In other words, the noise level of the Silvent nozzle is at least 50% lower than that of the competitors' products, whose results are no better than that of an open pipe. Our problem is to convince the user that we really have the blowing force required. Everybody can hear the big difference in noise level, but if there is considerably less noise, it is easy to assume that the blowing force will be less as well. Therefore, we use the scale. Let's continue with the same competitors in the same order as when we were measuring the noise level. The blowing force of the first unit measures 190 grams. The blowing force of the second, 150 grams. And the third unit, 360 grams. Then we take the Silvent gun, which showed at least a 50% reduction of the noise level. The blowing force of this one is 380 grams. The result shows that Silvent has lowered the noise level by 50% and at the same time has the best blowing force, a combination which is hard to beat. The last factor we measure is air consumption. As usual, we start with the competitors. Please note that for demonstration purposes, we only use a relative measurement. The flow meter reading for the first unit is 46. We have a problem with the second unit. Our test apparatus is only capable of measuring up to 100. And in this case, our flow meter hit the roof. so it's more than 100. The third unit shows a measurement of 70. The flow meter shows 48 for the Silvent unit. The air consumption test for the different units shows that Silvent also has low air consumption. That means energy savings. However, it is possible to save even more energy thanks to Silvent's strong blowing force. The demonstration has clearly shown that the Silvent unit has a stronger blowing force than the other three units. If a customer switches to the Silvent system, he will be able to reduce supply pressure. That means less air consumption. All our measurements have been made at 5 bars or 72.5 psi. As you remember, the blowing force of the Silvent nozzle was 380 grams. If, however, the user's blowing force requirement is, for example, only the 190 grams supplied by competitor number 1 in the diagram, as we have seen in our previous example, by reducing the supply pressure and using the Silvent system, it is possible to achieve the same blowing force as competitor number 1 at a supply pressure of only 2.3 bars or 30 psi. Take a look at this diagram. It shows considerable savings compared with the 3 tested competitors, air consumption for number 1, 2, and 3. And now Silvent's air consumption at the same blowing force as number 1, 2, and 3. For number 1, a 45% savings. For number 2, a 71% savings. And for number 3, a 29% savings.